The sale of the Conjuring house might be about to become the biggest thing to happen in October of 2025. Forget Sam and Colby's Hell Week. Forget every single paranormal video that every single YouTuber and their dog and their mother is going to put out. The sale of the Conjuring house is going to be the biggest thing because it's been an 18-month saga by that point of allegations, accusations, wrongful theft allegations, DUIs and arrest warrants, and it's a massive thing. Now, obviously, I've already covered that the sale is going to be taking place on October, but I've just literally this morning stumbled across an interview that came out 8 days ago with the neighbour of the Conjuring house and talking about it going up for auction. And the interview with Sarah Ganelli went into a little bit more detail with regards to the actual sale itself and how the auction's going to take place. And I've noticed some insanely huge red flags, which would absolutely should put anyone off from wanting to purchase this property. Take a little listen to the interview first. We're going to go through it, and then we'll dive into what my red flags are.
House controversy. Target 12 first broke that the home is going up for auction on Halloween after the home's owner stopped paying the mortgage, forcing a bank to foreclose on the property.
Target 12 investigator Sarah Granelli has reaction from a neighbor, plus details about how the auction will happen. Sarah?
We're outside of the Conjuring house in Burrillville, and despite the business being closed since last year, a neighbor tells me people still stop by to check out the historic home, especially since the new movie was just released. As for the property going up for auction, he says he just hopes the new homeowners respect the neighborhood. Another twist in the real-life saga of the Conjuring house in Burrillville, the home made famous by the 2013 blockbuster hit The Conjuring. The property was foreclosed on and is going up for auction on Halloween.
We have real concerns about what's going to happen with the property, who buys it, and what their intentions are with it.
The farmhouse was made famous by the 2013 blockbuster The Conjuring. Owner Jacqueline Nunez opened it to paranormal enthusiasts until the town council pulled her entertainment license last year, citing safety issues. Don Sullivan and his family live across the street.
From my understanding, the house is in pretty poor condition. The foundation, the roof, lack of any fire suppression units.
Justin Manning from J.J. Manning Auctioneers will be heading up the auction at the property next month. He's expecting a big turnout.
It should be really interesting because this is not just a local sell or a regional sell. It's not even national. It's truly international. I expect that there's probably a police detail. I expect people will be in costumes.
Manning says the auction will be held outside and bidders won't be able to enter the house. They must arrive with $25,000 in a check in their name. The winner will then need to pay in full within 30 days. Nunez bought the property for $1.5 million in 2022. Manning says it's unclear what it will go for now.
Usually I can get someone to, hey, will you open it up for me at $500,000 or $700,000, whatever it may be.
The auction announcement comes as the Conjuring franchise released its latest movie last week, which had fans of the film like Sean Matthews from New Jersey stopping by the house.
I'm a big fan of horror, and obviously I've seen all the Conjuring movies. I wish I had enough money to purchase it. It's very exciting.
Meanwhile, Sullivan says he hopes whoever buys the property next will keep the neighborhood in mind.
As neighbors, we would hope that the new owners respect our rights, our desire for some peace and quiet, work with us.
I've reached out to Nunez multiple times for a comment, but haven't heard back. In Burrillville, Sarah Granelli, 12 News.
It doesn't come as a surprise that Jacqueline isn't responding whatsoever, but at this current point, the front runners for the purchase of the Conjuring house, as you can imagine, sits with Matt Rife and Elton Castee, especially after they have just purchased the Warrens Occult Museum. It seems almost as if it's an opportunity for them to almost monopolise the paranormal properties across the globe. Arguably, purchasing two of the biggest properties in the paranormal would definitely put them in good standing to move forwards. Now, a lot of people would just listen to that and be like, yeah, you know, it's nothing really too new with what we already know. But there was a significant point there where I was like I was just kind of listening to it in the background this morning. And then I was like, and And then I kind of thought back to conversations that I've already had with people that have been in the property and are aware of the current state of the property and stuff. So, you know, the part where I think it was around here, have a little listen to this part quickly again.
Will then need to pay in full.
It's just
Detail. I expect people will be in costumes.
Manning says the auction will be held outside and bidders won't be able to enter the house. They must arrive with $25,000 in a check in their name. The winner will then need to pay in full within 30 days.
The bidders are not actually allowed inside the property. They have to stand outside. The winners have to provide a check of $25,000 up front and then pay in full within 30 days. Right, I'm not worried about the latter parts and the financial side of it. Like, you know, that's for whoever purchases it to sort out. But they're not allowed inside the property. That tells me that this property, you know, just, you know, from the outside looking in, is not in good shape. If I was about to drop, you know, upwards, probably north of $1 million worth of investment, I can imagine that's probably what the Conjuring house would go for, considering it was purchased for 1.5 million. Arguably in a far better condition, might I add. But, you know, let's play devil's advocate and say, you know, they used the benchmark between 500 and $1 million, all right? That's a big wad of cash. If I'm investing that much money into a property, I want to know what I'm walking into and what I'm buying. To me, the fact that they won't let people inside the property, maybe because it's an absolute horror show in there, maybe because the weather and how it hasn't been looked after over the winter and then the summer and coming back into the winter has probably caused a lot of damage, a lot of issues, tells me that there's something fishy going on here. And the bank just want to get rid of it and they just want it off their hands. Now, I'm going to read out a message from someone that I, you know, have had some information from. I'm not going to name names because that's not fair to do. But they have told me, right, that they can imagine, knowing the issues that the systems have in the Conjuring house already, they have told me, right, that basically they are very well aware that there most likely would have been some kind of leak in the basement. It most likely would have sat there for the winter, which would have cooled the pipes and then frozen them. Over the summer, it probably would have expanded the pipes and burst them. There's probably going to be some kind of black mold issue going on in the basement especially. They were there, right, bracing the floor to make sure that it wouldn't collapse for customers coming in and, you know, people that were purchasing tickets to go into there. They're very well aware that the property's going to need probably more to fix it than it is to actually buy it. And I got a feeling that that's why they won't let any potential buyers go inside the property prior to the bidding, like winning the bid. I'm not being funny, but that to me is a huge red flag because, like I say, if I was spending between $500,000 and $1 million, you know, that's a big ballpark figure, I would want to know exactly what I'm walking into, what I'm buying, and what kind of money I'm going to need and budget for renovations. Because you're not going to want to just purchase this property and just sit on it. You're going to want to commercialise it. And to commercialise it, you need to make it safe. You need to bring it up to standard. How much money is that going to cost? Well, that's anyone's guess. I just find it so funny and so suspicious that they won't let people in. And to me, that's a huge telltale sign that this is the property's absolutely cooked. What do you guys think? Obviously, this is speculation on my part, but I'm going to put myself out there and say that this is a bit of an educated guess. Let me know what you guys think about this down in the comments below. Way down there, jump scare the hell out of that like button and subscribe. And until next time, I'll speak to you later. Peace.